let me get you the frameworks again, the way that the FAQ will be hearing it. Now, if you go in my right hand, I will be keeping the metronomic background. Now, the two are together. Now, over down here, I will try to do the three against 4 cross rhythm. They are very pretty when you hear them together. The first one. The second one, a whole different texture. Another one, this is my favorite, the third one. We are going to take the second one and groove on that and see, right? Let's go. Now, what we just trying to do is take the opportunity to meet one another again. I'm trying to find how he's doing us an evening, and he's also checking me out. But it looks like we're still communicating, right? Yeah, rhythmically, our growth and this thing, understanding, is just those simple rhythmic structures. Now, how will a composer use the generic rhythmic structure. Take a look at this bell pattern itself. What they do is take 6 against 4 cross rhythm. The very first half of the cycle, they use the on-beat filling. That for half the cycle. The second half, they go to the offbeat. So they kind of like chain the 2 fillings into one musical period. So they have this Now, so from the first beat through the second beat, they just do a 2-3 relation. Then the second half, from the third beat going, they do the other half. Now, an awkward interval will have emerged when they make the transfer. Very quickly, they will try to accommodate it so it will not be so awkward. Instead of everything going 2 pulses each, one all of a sudden become 3 pulses. They adjusted it by playing the last stroke of the on-beat to 8 notes to make a good transition. So they have Now, composers can get so creative. That is the rhythmic foundation of that bell pattern. It becomes so much popular around Africa, south of the Sahara, that most people, until you are performing it and knowing that there is a bottom. Usually, when I'm clapping it like this is the top part. But the other thing, the most important part, is not always being articulated, and most people will ignore it and have a bad time. You will not have fun if you are only doing this. Now, when I started teaching in the West, most all the time when I introduce this pattern, to most people, there are 2 ways that they will have feel it. Like this. Or which makes sense. Now, but the African is feeling it polyrhythmically. It's a cross-rhythmic structure. They will have set up that strong and then do it with it. The basis of our whole metronomic background, meaning our metronome become this. It is not only this, it becomes very complex in our reference point. I can take some questions now, if you have any.
Okay, I'll repeat the question. And I think it was, do you use any 5 against 4 cross rhythms in addition to the 6 against 4 or anything like that? Or 7?
Not part of an FA tradition. There will be a lot of things that if we take it out of the natural rhythmicity can be thought of as 5 and 6s against whatever. But FAs are very, very, very equal subdivision kind of guys. But when composers change these things, they can, if you take only the top lines, you can very easily count them in all sorts of this thing. Even this pattern itself. When you hear the top part of it, it sounded like as if it is 7 plus 5 if you ignore the bottom. But if you take the bottom into consideration, it's 6 plus 6 making 12. So if it's not that complex. They are very complex, but not that complex. Yeah, drumming and dancing, the 2 are one and the same in an African tradition. When you play the drum, you dance. When you dance, you play the drum. the two are one, are done together. But right now, as I'm sitting down and playing for you, I'm only doing half part of it. The rest are in my mind. I mean, there are a lot of get down, movement and so forth going. Now, there are companies now carrying this instrument. I think Jack Drum is very popular. And they carry these instruments fully, that you can have the whole entire family. And there are communities developing all over around the country playing this drum fully. In Oakland, California, you see several groups down there. Then you go even down to the Marin County. There are several people, playing. All you have to do really actually is gather a group and continue to play. Sure, there are, in the past, resources are not down there so much. But now there are more than it was before, so you can be able to get this drum. Now, in terms of festival, normally we will have played a whole night for waykeeping. We start immediately after dinner and playing and drinking this terrible gin to keep us awake. And this black coffee. I mean, the coffee is so potent that when you drink it, it keeps you just alive for... you remember those black coffees, right? Yeah, to keep you alive for a very long time, that we will play and keep awake with a diseased member of family. Their last night on earth, we will have keep awake with them. That, and the following day, depending on who is the person, the statue, you will have play again from the morning until the burial time in the afternoon. That's almost about 2 days of playing. Yeah, I can say that is the longest, but then if you go into religious ceremonies and then you're playing for very potent religious rituals and somebody get possessed and refuse to calm down, and you have to keep playing, some can carry you for days, and you have to be down there playing. So I remember playing for somebody who was possessed in a ceremony for almost about a day and a half until I dropped the drum and ran away. So that is that long. Now, but the whole thing about the skill development on this drum is to be able to find a way to relax so you can last long. It's a quality that is review. It's part of your, the way you are reviewed as a performer.